Hello my loves, I'm back on YouTube. If you want to see how I achieved this glam look, then please keep watching. So I've been away from YouTube for about 2 years now. It's because I moved to London, United Kingdom, and my life has been so different. I also look completely different from my old videos is because I dissolved my lip filler and I also removed my contacts that I was wearing for about a decade. If you also notice from my old videos, I had very long nails, which I got rid of, and I know it's been such a relief from my family and from a lot of people that used to complain about them. And it wasn't just I got rid of them because people complained. I just came to a realization that it just serves me no purpose. So I just got rid of them, like the lip filler, the contacts, and the long nails. Even though I've been away, I also wanted to be consistent with YouTube and posting. And I know this is the type of looks that I do. I'm like very simple with my makeup. And I know this makeup tutorial does not look simple, but I just don't wear heavy eyeshadows anymore. So I don't do like a cut crease and like deep smoky eyes and like all this colorful eyeshadow. But of course, I will do this for my channel, but on a daily basis or when I'm going out with my family or anywhere, just like event or anything, I just don't really wear like heavy eyeshadows like I used to be before. But of course, I'll teach them. So this is definitely my go-to glam look. I just wear like a very neutral eyeshadow looks. I don't go for color, but definitely I will try to show all the techniques and everything on my channel. I'll try to be very consistent. I know YouTube takes so much of your time because it just looks simple, but actually it takes so much of your time trying to do a voiceover, trying to edit, trying to make everything look seamless. It's just hard work. It's like a full-time job. I also just don't want to stick to makeup and just showing makeup content. I want to be creative with my channel. I'm a very creative person. As you know, I draw and I also, on my Pals of Lashes page, I try to be creative, not just do makeup and stop there. I want to get creative with the looks. I want to get creative with showing my skincare and what I've learned, the books I've read, and just everything. I just want this channel to grow more and I want to be dedicated to it. Definitely a chit chat. Get ready with me to go nowhere. I live in London, I don't go anywhere. I also released a new product. It's inspired by the 90s. It's called an Extended Era Collection and I worked really hard on it. It's a collab with my best friend Jenna and we were inspired by the 90s. So every lash style of course has the inspired look by the 90s from Thierry Mugler shows and of course the fashion shows from the 90s. I really am out here trying to showcase you my new product when my nails are not done, but you know what, in London they don't have time for you. So I tried to book an appointment for my new tutorial and they didn't have time for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to film with my busted and disgusting nails. And every time I do my makeup, I raise my eyebrows and that's why you see those Wi-Fi lines. And you're like, babes, just go get Botox. But you know what? I got Botox at the age of 25. I'm 28 now. So I've been, you know, it wears off after 3 months. If you go years and years without having a break from Botox, your skin will look worse since it will eventually become so thin that the vessels will be very prominent. It will have a color and texture changes, so you definitely need a Botox detox. Give yourself a 6 months break between injections once a year. That's something definitely to consider if you get Botox regularly. Make sure you take a break from. Since we're on the topic of skin, I just want to mention that the products that I'm using is not ideal for skin of color. So I actually start taking care of my skin when I turned 25 and we were in lockdown, and when you are surrounded by four walls, what are you going to do? You're going to start to YouTube everything and start learning new skills. So I found this Dr. Vinita Ratan. She is amazing and she actually is not a sponsored doctor. And I feel like most of people on YouTube are sponsored. Like I'm not sponsored by anybody to say what I want on YouTube, but a lot of them have a lot of followers. And of course, when you have a lot of followers and subscribers, you get sponsorship a lot. So I want to say the skin prep that I'm using is not ideal and is not designed for skin of color. I have skin of color and as you can see that I have a lot of hyperpigmentation on my skin. So I read a book called Skin Revolution by Dr. Vinita Ratan and I found that most of the products you see on the shelves in drugstore, in like Harrods, Selfridges, is not designed for us. And of course, the marketing will get you. They will show you Bella Hadid looking unforgettable, untouchable, and you're like, oh my god, I want to look like her. So you buy the product. but a lot of them contain fragrance, and of course that irritates your skin. So you'll be like, okay, you're being a hypocrite, you're telling us not to wear these products, but you're wearing it in this video. So I'm showing you how to do this makeup because I wasn't educated at that time. So I'm using it and I'm showing you and I'm washing it off. But I wouldn't recommend it on a daily use. I really recommend that you educate yourself on your skin, and you will find out that most of these products on the shelves are just marketing and they're just trying to sell you something. Eventually my plan is to create videos educating all of you on skincare and what I've learned and the products that I avoid. I also got rid of a lot of products actually, especially for my skin, because it was irritating my skin and it was causing more hyperpigmentation. And when I educated myself and I found out like fragrance is not good, essential oils is not good, and drying alcohols is not good, I started reading the ingredient list at the back of the packaging and to find out that most of the products have fragrance, essential oils, and drying alcohols that don't work for us. So of course I will definitely make videos educating you all on products to avoid. What I also found helpful is creating a checklist for yourself. So I have a checklist every day that I have to do and check in case I forget. So it also forms a better habit. I like to, when I go to the gym, to listen to educational videos. And because I'm interested in science and of course it's educational videos on certain things that I'm interested in, like certain topics I would like to get further knowledge on. I can definitely create a video where you spend the day with me and I check that list off. It's a long list, but it actually helps me excel in life. And it just not only like your vitamins and all that, I actually have a list where I want to learn a skill almost every day. It could be makeup. Like, for example, I can go on YouTube or TikTok and I can learn a new skill. It doesn't have to be you learn a new skill. It can be a new information. And that makes you a better person every day. Of course, there are certain things I wrote in there for discipline. And it just doesn't make me feel like, oh, you're a robot. You have to follow everything. Of course, there are some days I miss a certain thing. But every day is a progress day. And just because progress is not linear, you're not gonna check off all that list, but I would get to 90% of it. I know in the long run, this will be so beneficial to me because it's not only you're taking care of yourself and your health, you're also becoming wiser day by day. I know my YouTube is always about makeup and just trying to teach makeup, but definitely I would appreciate if you would write in the comments what type of content you would like to see from me, because I want my YouTube to be versatile. It has everything, not just makeup. I want you to learn from me. I hope you got some information from this video and actually learn from me, because I didn't explain anything on what I'm doing with this whole makeup tutorial. I definitely learned a lot of techniques on TikTok and YouTube, and sometimes I'm like, how did I not think of that? That's a brilliant idea. Of course, I take what I need and I put it in my routine. Not all the time. Sometimes I forget, because when you're doing your makeup on the go, you're not going to put all those tricks that you learn from TikTok or from YouTube, but a lot of them actually make your makeup last a very long time. I do know, and I've taught this before, when you spray your makeup setting spray on like Charlotte Tilbury or Decay All Nighter on a beauty blender, and then you press it on the back of your hand and you press it later on the skin, it actually make your makeup last longer. But then I learned this new technique. I know I have a previous video, and that was my actual last video filmed, of when your makeup creases in those fine lines. But then there is a technique that you can actually make your concealer not crease as much, and I thought that was really brilliant. I'm definitely going to show it on my YouTube channel how you can do that to prevent it from creasing as much. You can never like not let your concealer not crease. It will crease. It doesn't matter what brand it is. It definitely will forever have texture. I know that on Instagram and with lighting, it can change the appearance of texture, but if you look close up, you can always have texture. And if you don't see texture, that means the video is edited. So I like to film everything in HD so you can see my lines, you can see my texture, because everybody has it. Of course, powder can make you look like you're filtered, but if you look really close up, I'm telling you, you can always find texture. It doesn't matter what kind of powder it is, if you like literally zoom into the skin, which I actually really appreciate, looking at like real skin texture. I just don't want everybody to like look like AI. And I know that I was guilty of that, like in my Pals of Lashes with the editing and all that. And I was actually using filters back then. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, the skin texture is so beautiful. Like, why am I hiding that? Like, I want to show the real human being texture. It was the end of last year when I stopped using filters. I actually, with the lighting, if you see on Pals of Lashes, I've been really less on the editing. Some of them I actually don't retouch on the picture. I know that sounds like I'm lying, but actually if you really zoom in, you'll see their skin texture. And even I don't like to use filters anymore. I think they just look like, make you look like a clown, honestly. And I hope I don't offend anybody, but I just think like it's just so unrealistic to keep up with that. But honestly, I'm not trying to throw shade in any way. I just don't think it's just a good look to look like AI. And of course, that took me a while to come to this place and realize that it's just not realistic. The videos I recorded from the past on my YouTube was actually not edited because I actually don't know how to edit a video. I know how to edit a picture, but video, forget me. So definitely I've been seeing some crazy things on Instagram, how they edit bodies, and I'm like, you can do that? But everything on the internet exists. Of course, just a reminder, and always remember that everything that you see on Instagram is not realistic and it's not ideal. Of course, there's lighting always involved. And that same goes with my photos, same goes with the Pals of Lashes photos that I upload. Remember, there's a lot of work that is involved in these pictures. A lot of makeup and layers going in through. And of course, when you see those from afar, you're like, okay, she looks airbrushed. But when you really zoom in, majority of the pictures that I've been uploading lately, you can see the skin texture. I actually saw this video recently about the Met Gala, and every celebrity that posted their picture on Instagram looked like angelic, but the reality of the pictures that they took, the paparazzi, it actually, you can see their real skin texture, and that's because of the lighting. It's not like they were like crazy editing their picture. It's just the lighting. A lot of people think that, oh, it's crazy edited and stuff, but if you have the right amount of lighting, it actually looks filtered. Like if I were to take the lighting that is involved in this video, I will look completely different. Lighting can change your face drastically. Of course, I can show you what type of lights that I use, but they're very strong. And of course, when I actually film with these lights or I actually use it for my shooting, a lot of models can't handle these type of lights because they're so bright, and they actually tell me that they need a break, and I'm like, okay babes, take your break. They are definitely an investment and they're quite pricey, but it's worth every penny because I actually use it almost every day for my shooting. And even when I record reels or these YouTube videos, I'm always using it when I'm doing my makeup, when I'm doing a model's makeup. I just can't work without lighting. Like even when I go to my clients, I actually grab that light. Like one light with me is fine, but of course I would love to grab all my 3 studio lights with me. Since all the makeup will be listed in the description box, I will add the type of lighting I use and the link to it to purchase. They're definitely worth your money if you are a content creator. If you're on a budget and you're a content creator, I can definitely list what type of light that I think will be suitable. If you're on a budget, then you can upgrade when you have the money to upgrade to that lighting that's like extremely strong. But of course, I don't think that you should just right away jump into buying all these lights when you're not a full-time content creator or you do this for a living, like you're a makeup artist. Of course, I think there's this one light that is just like really worth your money. If you can buy that one light, I think you don't need the rest of the lighting. But of course, with me, I'm so extra. I have like 3 studio lights. I used to actually have 4 until one burnt out. I actually like broke another one by accident because sometimes they fall. So do be careful with that. However, this lighting that was really expensive has never tried me or fell on me. But definitely I've had my lights fall on me and my models in the past, but we were like laughing because it's so light, it's not gonna like hurt you really badly. But of course, really be careful when you set it up. And we're coming at the end of this video. Wow, I kind of like talked about my life way too much and I gave advice way too much, but I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial and I hope you learned something new from this tutorial, and I will see you in my next video.